Radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Monday, June 17th. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Beef.
And good morning, Todd Marlie.
That's me.
All right, that's we got full crew here on this Monday. Happy post-Father's Day to everyone out there, and you gentlemen in particular. We are three dads. We've all, somehow convinced women to lay down with us and bear our seed. And then through the years, we've spent a lot of money helping raise said seeds. And then one day a year, not birthdays, not holidays, one day a year, we get a little bit of recognition. I hope you guys had a good Father's Day. Derek, did you get any gifts for Father's Day?
I did. I got some beef jerky and some Crunch and Munch.
Nice.
Yep, it was good stuff. Yep.
Crunch Munch, nice. What about you, Todd Marlie?
Standard t-shirts, although my kid did get me a video game, which is appropriate.
Dude, he got you a video game. Look at that. You raised him right. What video game?
Not one that anybody here would know, so don't worry about it.
Okay, it's called Sim Sun.
It's
and that's
called
where you...
Also the Dark Wild.
No, I'm going back on my original joke. I'm going on my original joke. Sim Sun, where you simulate throwing like baseballs to them and playing catch in the backyard and things like that. Simulate having the talk. Simulate sharing porno magazines.
That's right.
That's
right. It's a great replacement for genuine love.
Yes, Sim Love. It's the way of the future. Yes. I'm Sam. I actually received a card and a gift. I think for the first time, an actual physical gift that costs money. I got a spice rack, which is a very dad-like gift. But I do need spices. I've been
no spices, just the rack, right? Just a rack, no spices.
That'd be fantastic, dude. If she went to the swap meet and just got me the rack with a bunch of empty spices in it. Nah, it was one of those $16, 16 spice type spice rack, but it was nice. It was good. So Father's Day is behind us, and now we're focusing on the next big holiday for us, which will be a Father's Day next year as well. So a lot of good stuff. But I'm glad that you guys got some recognition because you guys are real dads. You stood up, you paid the bills, you didn't run. And there's a lot of people out there that run.
Yeah, I don't run. Running is bad for your health. I mean, good for your health. Oh, no, bad for raising kids.
Now. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We have a lot of things to hook up our dads with today because we'll be giving away two different ticket items. One, it was announced that Gray Days is going to be returning at the Rock. And actually, this is going to be the first time that they've performed in Tucson that I'm aware of. And they are performing at the Rock. Of course, Gray Days, formerly Chester Bennington's former band. Of course, a lot of the music that we play on the station has Chester as lead vocals, but they have a vocalist that fills that. And then, they got There Is No Us, Alien Atmosphere, and Billy Shaw Jr. on this bill. So it's a little bit of everything for everybody. That's going down July 27th. So we'll be giving away tickets to that. And excuse me, as I'm burping into the microphone.
You're welcome, Tucson.
Yeah. We've been talking and documenting, the potential new movie from Ghost. Ghost shot a concert film, which we're super excited about. And that's going to be coming out here pretty soon. In fact, actually, we're going to have tickets to give away for that. Their debut feature film that combines live performances from their 2-night finale of the band's Reimposter tour out in LA. There's going to be special screenings happening of that film on Friday, June 21st through the 23rd at select Tucson movie theaters. We will be giving away passes, so you can check that out at Elcon Mall Cinemark Century Theater. You know what? They got to get a shorter name. I mean, let's break this down. We got Valdez in studio too. Good morning, Valdez.
I'm Valdez.
Yeah, so we got a full crew. We have Not as many personalities as there are words in this title, and this is probably why the Elmark Mall Cinemark Century Theater isn't doing too well in business. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, there's never really sold out shows there. I don't want to bag on them, but they're hosting this. Dude, listen to this. Elcon Mall Cinemark. See, I can't even say it.
It's like 15 syllables.
Yeah, dude. It's a manifesto. Elcon Mall Cinemark Century Theater. All right, so that's six words. It doesn't matter. It's a movie theater, so we're going to be giving away passes for that. It's going to be good times. Now, of course, we've been celebrating our little Father's Day gifts. Valdez, did any of your kids find you finally, or are you still under the radar?
I am super under the radar. I'm lucky.
Congratulations. Yeah. No, I know.
That vasectomy paid off. Thanks, Mexico.
A Mexican vasectomy. I'm going to Mexico this weekend. I'll probably get one of those. It'll be a shot at Wrecked at the Reef.
It's worth its weight in gold, man.
Yeah. Like, what's the easiest way for a vasectomy so you don't have to go under a knife? You just get so drunk you can't get it up in the first place. Boom. There you go.
Done.
Yeah.
Got your beef tip early.
Yeah, that's birth control right off the bat. We got a lot to get to and a lot of fun to have this morning. Phone lines are open if you want to give us a shout. Got your morning morning coming up after Jelly Roll, kicking things off with Smashing Pumpkins on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. All right, so there you go. That was our show open, and me trying to say words on a Monday morning after a very long weekend. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome everybody on the stream. Keep those comments coming. Good to see you commenting on there. And now noted, Dot. It's just Cinemark at fucking Elcon. That's the way I'll say it from here on out. Because seriously, what a pain in the ass it was just trying to say the name of that. Well, I was going to say dying movie theater, but I work in radio, so it's not cool.
We're okay. Everybody's okay. Theaters are okay. We're fine. All you can eat restaurant's going to make it.
It's all
just hanging on by a thread.
All immortal.
Yes. As you can tell, we have a full crew today, and we've had a lot of fun in covering a lot of different news stories. The name of the podcast today is Naked in a Plane. We'll get to those stories a little bit later on. I have a story of a guy who is suing Apple because of their update, and I think that's hilarious, and we'll share that after we do Blind Melon. Plus, I got a ton of videos to get to, so we're going to have a lot of fun on this podcast. So keep those comments coming. And a big announcement that I'm going to share with you first, Manny, but everyone watching the stream, and I'm going to say this on the air, the return and the finale of Beef's Beard Envy. We're going to get into the details of that, but we're going to have a patriotic beard envy. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. You can join us along with all of our OG streamers, youtube.com/beefvegan, or on our Facebook page, or even on Twitter if you can find it. Name of the podcast is Naked and a Plane. We're going to get into a lot of different topical news stories that we didn't cover so far yet. But I do want to announce that we are doing our grand finale of Beef's Beard Envy coming up the day before the 4th of July. Basically, it is the July 3rd, and it's Rustic's Barbershop. Brings you the grand finale. So not only will whoever has the most glorious beard win a grand prize courtesy of Rustic's, but we're working on making this grand prize even more grand. So if you've been growing out your beard and it's glorious and fantastic, make sure you be ready to submit your picks to KFMA.com as soon as we have that up and running. But mark your calendars, July 3rd, it's going down. The finale. Who has the greatest beard in Tucson? We're going to find out and then crown them best beard of 2024. And since it is going to be like 4th of July theme, we do various activities to see what, how a beard holds up. One idea that I have in mind, since Joey Chestnut's not going to be able to participate in the hot dog eating contest, is how many hot dogs can we get stuck in a beard, right? Like how many wieners? Can I put my wieners in it? Yes, so
crazy.
All right, but we have coming up next a man who's suing Apple because of an update. Basically outed him and his love affair of whores. I'll give you all that info after Blind Melon's No Rain, or you can join us on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Let's go. Clear.
Damn
there
you,
go.
Apple.
I wasn't invited to the new StreamYard.
Oh, yeah. Let me invite you to the new StreamYard then, if you're going to be a big baby about it.
How are you here?
You look like a big baby. Because he's on my hard cam.
Oh.
So, yeah. And then the other one, when he gets invited and goes in, is actually set up for camera 3. That's the way that works.
Magic.
Yeah. Face push competition. Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be glorious. And Manny has been in it 4 times. But, last time Taco won. And Taco is one of these before and after stories where Taco entered the competition with a scraggly ass beard the first time around. We all got gathered around, made fun of him. He ended up going to Rustics, getting basically a man kit. And then the next time he came in, he was so groomed that he looked like a GQ model out of like Best Beard magazine. He looked fantastic.
He came like ready to compete that last time. Like I could smell how good his beard smelled through the internet.
Yes, it looked good. It smelled good. It looked I had genuine beard envy. And Manny, our good friend, an OG streamer 1, didn't do shit.
Let me hold on. Let me get this right. And now you want to take those nice smells and all of that progress, and you want to stuff it with hot dog water.
Yeah.
Wiener water, as you would put it. Wiener water.
Not wiener water. Just, I'm just putting wieners in the beard. And here's the deal. See, even Taco is kind of trying to talk up Manny here. But Manny, Taco, what you got to do is you got to coach him up. You got to help him. And it's more than just brushing it. Obviously, give him the tips and tricks that you got from Rustics to make you have such a glorious beard. Because now I guarantee when you go out on date nights, people are like, look at that beard right there. That's a nice beard. So let's see. Are there like volume adding beard mousse? Yes, I think so. And Taco, you can answer that question. What products did you use to make it so good? And I want to see a bunch of beard push-ups. And he says, go to Rustics and get some of that beard butter and just slather it up. That helps. And see, look at this is Taco's here. This was Taco's pre-groomed beard that you're seeing there. And it looks very Amishy, looks very modest Yahoo, before he, shaved. It looks ratty. It looks like he's like a white jihadist in this photo.
Okay.
Right. That was pre-Rustics beard game. I mean, I can't think of a better advertisement for Rustics when it's like we turn this guy from an American terrorist into a man who's terrorizing all vaginas. It went from that to that. Rustics.
That's right. Painted on a window.
Yep.
You know who's got a majestic beard?
Who?
Andrew, the producer to Spears and Ali.
No. He looks like a wizard, but it's not necessarily majestic.
But he takes care of it. He puts all the stuff in it. He looks like a Latino Rasputin. Like,
I don't know. We'll get Andrew. You know what? Text Andrew and have him come in, and I'll critique him on how good his beard is. We're back here live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, by the way. We were just talking about how we announced that we're going to be doing the Beef's Beard MV Finals, brought to you by Rustics Barbershop inside the Tucson Mall, and the before and after transformation that our streamer Taco had before, with his beard being so long and kind of ratty. And then he got the beard kit at Rustics, got some tips, and now he's seriously super smooth with his beard. And Valdez is bragging about Andrew, our coworker here, who has a nice long beard. But at the same time, it looks like a wizard's beard, a wizard that lives in the bushes of some kind of town that would be featured in Lord of the Rings. I don't remember all those nerd sayings, but you picking up what I'm putting down, right? So with that, like these tips and tricks is literally convert a man from looking homeless to looking like he's going to raid all of the homes and all the lovers inside him, because he looks so smooth. Exactly. All right. Now let's get back to our top story of the day. Apple did an update. In that update, when it happened, a lot of things from the past came up. And mainly, the stories were that of like people who had photographs show up in their galleries that they deleted long ago. And you're like, oh, I totally forgot about that nude or that D-pic of when I was single and sending that out without permission. Well, Apple was like, hey, reminder, bud, you were a creep and you're still a creep. That's what was happening to people all over the world. But this story it gets a little more complex and a lot more salacious, as a man is now suing Apple because of this update. And the reason why is because after the update, his wife found his deleted text messages to a bunch of hookers. Yes.
Like actual hookers?
Like actual hookers. Like actual working ladies. The middle-aged rich guy in England is suing after his wife found a bunch of text messages he sent to hookers, and now they're divorced. So he said that he turned to prostitutes in the last few years of his marriage and would text them using the iPhone texting app iMessage. And he was careful to always delete those messages so his wife wouldn't see them. But unfortunately for him, he only deleted them from his phone, and she eventually found them on the iMac desktop computer that they shared after it was updated. She filed for divorce less than a month later and took him for all he's worth, and now he's suing to recover the money. This is great too. It's like an equal trade. It's like, look, Apple, my wife was able to utilize your technology against me and take my entire net worth. Now I want you to pay me back my net worth, so we both have that money. Now Apple thinks he should have to cover what he lost in divorce as well as his legal bills. He thinks that Apple should cover that, totaling more than $6.3 million. And he claims that he and his wife were very happily married for over 20 years and called it a superb marriage before she found out about him cheating on her with prostitutes. This is so great too. It's like, you don't understand, Apple. This was the perfect marriage. I would pay for prostitutes and have sex with them. She would not know, and I would come home and dinner would be made. I was living the life, and then you ruined it, Apple. Now you got to pay.
Damn it, Apple.
He says that if she found out that he was cheating some other way, they might have worked through it. but seeing the text was just too brutal of a way to find out, so she couldn't forgive him, especially considering that it was very detailed and written in there in black and white, all the little in particulars that he couldn't deny. It's right there. It's like, it says, like, it's imagine a situation. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Say this guy, like, his wife catches text message saying there's an appointment with a hooker. It's like, you meet with a hooker? The guy could have been like, yeah, honey, I just, I felt like I haven't been listened to, and I just paid her to listen to me talk. We didn't do anything physically, right? She just was basically like a therapist, and I'm sorry, I'm just so emotionally distraught. And this might be something like a way for them to be able to work through those issues, right?
I paid her to argument.
Yeah, this is my devil's advocate. I'm coming up with alibis for this guy.
That's excuses. That's excuses. Yeah. That's not excusing the behavior. You're just
no, but
you're just coming up with excuses like a child trying to not get in trouble.
No, I'm trying to paint a scenario to which this guy could talk his way out of divorce, right? If he still has accountability, deniability to any of the situation. Yes, he's caught, paying for prostitutes, but he could deny what happened in this scenario if there wasn't detailed text messages about it. Now, on the flip side,
Apple's fault.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, there were detailed text messages. So instead of saying oh yeah, we just talked because of my emotional distraughtness or whatever the case, yeah, she's reading text messages that saying, I want you to specifically do these things to my body. And I can't even say on the air, what those things may be, but you can use your imagination.
It's part of the healing process.
Right. Well, that it apparently was. Now, his lawyers are even looking into making it a class action lawsuit if other men come forward and say the same thing happened to them. So they're asking anyone out there, did your wife catch you cheating on her with prostitutes thanks to the cloud? And then get at them. Call Raffy, and I'll make sure this. To the hell out of Apple.
There's a bad apple using Apple.
There you go.
Dad joke after Dad's Day.
Yeah, I know. All right, so there you go. That's our top story of the day, guys. Suing Apple. So always check your cloud, guys, and don't cheat on your wife with prostitutes for sure. Do that one first, and then check your cloud. All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. YouTube.com/beefvegan. Sorry, I get a giggle out of this. People's lives. What up, weirdo? Is that actual weirdo? Is that KFM? Or is that
That's me.
That's
Got him.
Liz said new ad for Ashley Madison. Use their app, not the cloud. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Personal injury because I cheated on my wife. Yeah, Rafi is a personal injury attorney. How much money do they make, dude? These personal injury attorneys? Because obviously, Rafi, this is a way to. Thanks for joining us, Derek. This is a way for to become a celebrity. If you become rich and then brand yourself and you have that, so like Rafi basically marketed himself to celebrity status. So I know that when people see Rafi now, they freak out as if they're seeing like Brad Pitt, when really he's just marketing his business. He has a service that he provides, and that's what's being, and then he advertised that on bus stops and everywhere. And that's a lot of money to do so, but he created a celebrity following because of his marketing strategy. How much money you think that is, though? Because not only is Rafi all around here, you go up to Phoenix, dude, and it's literally, he is on everything. I'm talking like full-blown billboards. I was driving back down and there was a digital thing. It was like straight out of Las Vegas, where it was like a super mall or a car dealership. And they had this big, huge, I want to say like 60-foot digital pillar, right? That you could do graphics on. And you just see Rafi walk up on it and then just kind of give a little wink and a thing, and then just said Rafi. And that's it. That's 100% the information. We just said Rafi. It didn't give any contact information, didn't tell you what Rafi did. It just showed Rafi kind of pop up out of nowhere, point to you, little smile, and then showed his name. And that costs a lot of money too. So I'm so curious into how much money Rafi actually spends advertising and marketing a year. It's in the millions. It has to be. And how many people do have to be injured and sue to make that kind of money, dude? Like, and represent. How many lawyers does he have? I wish I knew all this shit. Rafi is is he funded by the cartel? Because that would make sense. It would. How many fender benders does this guy have to? He has a monopoly on all fender bender accidents. Because there's a lot of personal injury attorneys out there.
Do the math on how many car accidents are there in the greater Phoenix area every day? Yeah. Probably at least 3. I would say as high as, just guessing, 3 to 10 a day. If he gets 2 of those a day, it's great. He's killing.
You have to say an interview you could have.
Ah, there you go.
What?
I feel like this is an interview you could have.
Yeah, I wish. I don't know. I think he's marketed himself in such a way that he is untouchable. Like, it's like I might as well ask for an interview with like Prince William. You know what I mean? Like, they're in Arizona on that level of familiarity. It's like you recognize the royal family as much as you recognize Rafi.
I feel we have an in though, because he sponsors Los Hijos de la Mañana and Caliente. So I mean,
I like how you say that. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. Yeah. No, I mean, just because, again, he is a sponsor, but he's not a personal sponsor. You got to think that the machine of Rafi is larger than him as a client. Like, I could talk to Erica, the sales manager for the Spanish side, and be like, have you ever met Rafi? And I would be shocked if she said yes. More so, though, I'd be shocked if she was even in the building, because she takes more vacations than a politician. So I will not see her until October.
I'm glad you say all this stuff, because when I say it, they're like, oh, you're just being so critical. I'm like,
No, she's, it's so funny because I told Mac that I am, I got to pre-record Friday's show because I'm going to Mexico. And he goes, well, you got to make sure that you, put it in. So, your hours, your vacation hours, like make sure you fill that out and give that right to me for a 1 day off. Right. And I'm like, sure, whatever. And Mucho, we were talking to Mucho at the time. Mucho pointed out, he's like, nobody's been taking those hours away. Our vacation hours that we were accumulating when we put it in, nobody does that. The person who does that kind of gave up on their job a while ago, and nobody's been paying attention. So I essentially have a legitimately like unlimited vacation time. Now, Mac is the only person that really cares about the details in particular of this. Like, you got to fill out the paperwork and stuff. And I'm like, I'll fill it out, dude, but it doesn't change anything. And in fact, I'll accumulate more vacation time as I take it off because I'm still on the books as working. No one's paying attention here.
You found the cheat code.
Yeah. Which I could take the entire month of July off paid vacation if I wanted to. But I don't have the money to do shit. So I would just be sitting at home, not doing anything. So I might as well
waiting for the paycheck, the paid part to come in.
Yeah.
You don't need to just go do VR at Illusions or whatever it's called.
Yes. I did the Illusions of virtual reality at Tucson Mall this weekend, as I mentioned it on the air earlier this morning, but it was super fun as I did this escape room with my daughter and did Alice in Wonderland escape room. And so it was a full hour of us hanging out together, trying to escape Wonderland. And we did not, because, I'm an idiot. And unfortunately, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I love my daughter, and I know I just kind of called her an idiot, but you have to understand. I'll show you the Father's Day gift and card that I got from her.
So next time you go, don't take your daughter and do the Mia Khalifa VR. It's awesome.
No, because I can't see who's watching me. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be there spanking, look, so I'll show you.
Rub it against the wall over there.
Yeah.
No, we do not need to explore this.
No. I'm not. It's not Mia Khalifa. Plus, she's racist and got canceled anyways, which is weird.
Wait,
she's
what?
racist. Yeah, she sucked a lot of black dudes, but she ends up. She's actually a very vile person. Anyways, this is a Father's Day card that I got from my daughter. You let me transition from Mia Khalifa to my Father's Day card, right? So she made this card for me, which is sweet. I know she is 18. She filled it out here, and it's very loving scripture that she wrote in here. I'll talk about that, but then it said, "Happy to be your daughter." So
Heart's in the right place.
Heart's in the right place. The mind and the apostrophe RE are not. That is not supposed to be. You are daughter. It's supposed to be your daughter. So no E, no. So she gave me this card. I was touched. I cried. And then I immediately grounded her for being a fucking moron. Because I'm just like,
how did you graduate? How? Tell me right now.
Yeah. Thank you, TUSD. I mean, honestly, it's like, this is the first time that she actually gifted me something, which she did. She gave me a spice rack and some shampoo to help my hair grow back. There's a spice rack, which is nice. I need that. But the typo,
please help.
It wasn't even a typo. You can't even say typo in this situation because she wrote it out in pencil, and it was in pencil too. So I'm like, you could have erased it. You could have proofread it, then erased just the E, and because you didn't even put the apostrophe in there. Right? There's so many levels of wrong and stupid in this. I'm so infuriated at my daughter, but at the same time, can't blame her because, I mean, obviously she's my daughter.
It's where my kids get it, not from you. I mean,
right? So, and, to top it all off, to just kind of drive home the point that, I love my daughter. She's adorable, beautiful, maybe dumb. So I ground her.
Ugh.
She's 18. She doesn't figure out that there's no real legal recourse to grounding. I can't necessarily ground an adult, but as long as it still works, I'm going to still attempt to do it. I feel like when she's 30, I'm going to say no phone for a week. She's going to pout and throw her phone at me. And then I'm going to hold on to her phone for a week because even if she pays for it, I don't think she'll get to an age where I'm not going to be able to ground her. And which is amazing to me because I'm like, this obviously works when you're 7. I'm surprised that I've continued to have this run for as long as I have. And now that you've graduated high school and you're full blown adult, we're going down to Mexico so you could drink legally for the first time. And I'm going to ground you from shots of tequila. And how that works, I don't understand it.
Just don't use the hot tub.
Obviously, I know. God, gotta keep bringing that up, Captain fucking Buzzkill. Like,
No, you
legit,
can use
literally
it. You can use it.
Buzzkill.
Just send Veal in first. That's all.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's my daughter, dude. As a father, I would stick my toe in first.
You have to.
Yeah, dude.
And then be like, here, give me your hand.
No, that's if you're not following along, we're talking about how the resort that I was going to literally had a guy die and his wife be electrocuted as well in the jacuzzi, and that happened on Tuesday last week, and I had the reservation for this weekend at the very same resort in Rocky Point. Made global news. It's insane. And this resort,
funny,
huh?
I said, well, now the jokes aren't funny.
Well, that they never were. I don't know why you're making fun of this dude dying at a resort that I paid good money for.
And I've been trying to do really hard somber news this whole time, and we just keep cracking jokes around him. Like,
well, you're not the one
really
going to the resort, dude. I had to call up the resort, right? And first, I asked if they had a murder discount. So like, hey, you just murdered somebody, so do I get like 15% off? Is that how you do it? Like, how much money do I get off for still coming here, even though you just murdered a guy on property? And they're like, well, we drained the pool, so no discount. I'm like, well, I'm coming there for the pool. So do you have any pools or jacuzzis that don't murder people? Because I'd like to transfer to that property. And they're like, yeah, sure. Actually, we do. So, and they put me on the 7th floor. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's what you get for calling a Motel 6 Mexico a resort.
No, that's not it. Not it.
Get what you pay for, man.
See, I prefer when I get in the hot tub,
It's
if
annoying.
things malfunction, I get to go like a hot tub time machine instead of like hot tub dead.
Wouldn't that be a beautiful twist that here we think he's dead, but he's actually traveling through time? And that actually makes a hot tub time machine super morbid. All those guys actually died in the jacuzzi. They just, subconsciously went back into the 80s. That makes sense now. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Sorry, Todd. Did I disappoint you on that?
No, it doesn't. Why does that make sense?
It's a good fan theory.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is the fan theory of hot tub time machine because I know you guys were all wondering. Now, this weekend, I'm going to Rocky Point, but the resort I was going to stay at, unfortunately, had a fatal accident when their jacuzzi electrocuted 2 guests, which is terrifying, and sad. But D-Rock kind of pointed out this hot tub time machine kind of connection. And here's a way to not only do a silver lining on the tragic accident that happened, but also make sense of a movie that really makes no sense. Because how can a hot tub send you back in time? Well, let's say in this scenario that the guys in the hot tub time machine, they went back in time, but physically, in reality, they all died from electrocution. But then their minds, their subconscious, was able to travel back in time together because they all were electrocuted together. And that's the premise of Hot Tub Time Machine. So the scary and the sad reality of that movie is tragically they all died and they were all dead while they were traveling back to the 80s fighting the bad guy and getting the girl.
So you're saying they went to hell?
Well, yeah. So that makes that movie super heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard to watch that. And then the sequel, of course, makes no sense because there's just no way there's going to be a sequel.
Now none of this makes any sense. I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. You want to get into radio content? You know what doesn't make sense is greasing up a pole and dangling a bunch of meat and cheese at the top of that pole. Because this is actually something that happens in Philadelphia each and every year. They have an Italian market festival. And what they do as a fun tradition is dangle Italian meats and cheeses from a grease pole. Okay. Problem is, it's almost impossible to get the meats and cheeses from this pole because it's a tall pole and it's all greased up. And the festival already happened like a month ago, and they still haven't been able to figure out how to get the meats and cheeses down from the top of the pole.
Guys, haven't they heard of a scissor lift, a ladder, a rope?
Well, with that though, yeah, these are all great suggestions. But another issue is that it's a very popular area in Philadelphia, especially in the summertime. It's their like little Italy. So they have tons of tourists and locals around, so they can't. I guess it would affect business if they brought in like some kind of scissor reel.
If they throw more meat up to try and bring the other meat down, that meat might not only get stuck, but if it doesn't get stuck, it could come down and hit a tourist.
I know it's complicated, so we'll have the news explain it to us. Like, check this out. Like, this is what local news affiliate of NBC had to say about it.
9th Street Italian Market Festival in South Philadelphia over the weekend. They enjoyed food and music, but one of the main attractions is a greased pole. Spectators crowded around to watch those brave souls try to climb to the top. You can see it was a little rainy too. There were meats and cheeses at the top as a prize.
Well, people just
Okay, so then no, this was the previous, and then you get it. You laugh. I mean, it's very homoerotic, to be honest with you, right? You're talking about a bunch of guys like really squeezing onto a grease pole.
That was the most Philly thing I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
wish we would have heard from that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can hear from that guy. You want to hear from a local guy in the streets talking about the grease pole? Let's talk about it.
just like to be on elevated surfaces, first off. But I think it's a cultural thing in the city. When we won the Super Bowl a few years back, everyone was climbing poles. We just love to climb poles in this city.
Yeah, you know, whenever anything happens around here, we just like to climb a pole. We grease that sucker up from top to bottom, and then we get up there. We don't even take off our shirts, you see. And then we get up there, and we hug that pole, and we can't keep on hugging it. We get other guys to come underneath us and lift us up, and then we keep hugging the pole. It's a Philadelphia thing. You gotta understand.
It's a Philly thing. You wouldn't understand. We climb grease poles. Is that pole greased? We're gonna climb it.
People climbing poles for meats and cheeses, like it's a sport.
All right. Yeah, they consider that a sport, which is probably why they haven't won any championships recently. Oh, I mean, the Eagles won, but yeah, and I guess so was born the grease pole tradition. But yeah, this is a problem. And now the good news is none of the meats and cheeses, they don't know if it smells up there because it's too high up there.
It smells like grease.
Yeah, well, it's grease on the bottom, and then once you get up to the top, it smells like, I don't know, from under. So that's a Philadelphia problem. We'll play more of this clip here on the podcast broadcast. Plus, we got some other viral videos to share with you. You can join us youtube.com/bevegan or keep it right here because we got music on the way from Days of the New and Linkin Park. Let's just see. Let's see what the tail end of this news story has to say. I know you're having an asthma attack over here.
This guy I just like to be on elevated surfaces.
Yeah. All right, that is funny. Let's go back to this guy. All right.
Oh man, just like to be on elevated surfaces, first off. But I think it's a cultural thing in the city. When we won the Super Bowl a few years back, everyone was climbing poles.
Put me up on tall things.
I just feel like it's so unique. I mean, people climbing poles for meats and cheeses, like it's a sport.
It's a sport. It really, honestly, is. It looks really difficult. Some of the local businesses have been a part of the festival since the 70s. And of course, they made sure everybody left with a full stomach.
Next year, we're going to show the house done, right?
I think we should do our show live from
the pole,
the festival at the top.
Broadcasting live from the grease bowl.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
Or the meats, Boarheads meats.
probably they don't mess around in Philadelphia. They only get the good meats, dude.
Because as a fat dude, I would climb that pole for those meats.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and cheeses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that looks super good. So,
oh man,
yeah, but they don't know what to do about it. So, like I said, it's stuck there. So it's been there for a month. Despite summer temperatures in the city, the food hasn't started to stink yet, but organizers are still trying to figure out how to get the stuff down. But the market is too crowded for their plan A, which is bringing in a crane. So how did they get it up though? It was before it got busy.
Pre-grease.
I bet you somebody like climbed right up there and put all those meats.
They gotta get those. No, they get the claws like the lumberjacks use. They get those on their feet so they can actually dig into the wood and get there, and it just bypass the grease. They got to get bear claws or something to go for their hands.
They got to pay for a manly man to go ahead and they put the spikes in his shoe and climb up that grease pole and get the meat down.
Why is everybody climbing the pole? How come nobody's just using a stick?
That's probably a big ass stick, a long ass stick, dude.
Yeah, grab one of those things that they use.
You're not thinking of the tourists, man. What if something goes wrong and that meat goes wild and a tourist catches a salami in the eye?
That's true.
Then they got a wiener in the face.
Nah,
that's a problem for the city.
Nah. Speaking of wiener in the face, this is the last known naked photo of Marilyn Monroe. You know,
Oh.
I've been showing this on the stream for a while here, all morning long, actually. This is a part of a piece because there's a latest book out talking about adding to the conspiracy theory that she didn't kill herself, that the Kennedys were involved. Certain tidbits from this book is saying that Bobby Kennedy actually had sex with Marilyn Monroe 30 minutes before her legendary happy birthday performance to his brother John F. Kennedy. So imagine that. And yeah, there's no booty. I mean, she doesn't have too much of a booty, but back then that was the 1950s badunkadunk. We evolve before our ass grows.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous.
As technology has gone leaps and bounds since then.
Yeah. But she, of course, she's still looking beautiful. You know,
Yeah, it looks great. It's unfortunate ad placement there, though. It looks like Kevin Spacey is just staring hard.
That's on brand, actually. That's really good ad placement. If
if she was a dude.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, it is Spacey. Just like, yeah, I wish you had a dick.
Right in the wrong spot.
Yep. Yep. No dick there. No dick there. But you can tell Dick has been here a lot. Yeah, in a row.
Killing me.
YouTube is annoyed. All right, so let's as we get ready for our next segment. Earlier this morning, we did our morning moron. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out. Oh, morning morons. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes their intention is clear and pure, like a proposal. Now, let me ask you this. I got two married guys on the show. I got Todd Marlie and Derek. When you proposed to your significant others, did you guys go like extravagant? Did you have some like sort of fancy way to pop the big question? I'll start off with Derek. You were super young.
Yeah. I was super schmammered on New Year's Eve around a fire. I kind of remember it was super romantic and I didn't even have a ring. And so, no.
Okay. And Todd was more or less romantic than that.
Might have been a little more romantic, but it was more timing based. It happened like just in my apartment, just the two of us. The timing was right. I happened to have it with me and it worked.
All right. Well, I mean, as for whatever reason, both your wives said yes. But this is morning moron. Well, because it was just like, I rolled over and I was like, hey, bitch, you want to get married? Sure.
I have no idea how it happened.
You're from Canada. Do you want papers? I can provide that.
Yeah. Derek, well, that's Todd's. And then Derek is literally like, blackout drunk. Either way, we're not talking about them as morning moron. This is a proposal that's worse than those two examples. And it's just like a mixture between proposal and like one of those gender reveals. Okay. Yeah. The problem is, you want to be like, bigger and extravagant. And even more importantly, you want things to explode. That's what happened with Adam Boots. He's today's morning moron. A simple marriage proposal would have been more than enough for sure. But this father from South Australia wanted to start a bonfire and use it as a backdrop for his elaborate proposal plan. Okay. So, he went all out and he had it in his mind, this big raging fire in the background. And he would kneel down in front of it and say, Sydney, I imagine her name's Sydney. She's from Australia. Would you be my mate? Something like that. Something Australia. All right. All right. So the problem is, though, to get this fire going, he decided that gasoline was his best option.
Oh,
yeah.
Always.
It's technically true.
Well, yes and no. You see, the problem is while reaching in to get it going, he lit it and the bonfire exploded in his face. Now, Boots ended up, being hospitalized for 3 weeks with severe burns to his legs, arms, and face.
Holy hell.
I did it for you, babe.
Yeah, and now has permanent skin damage. Now, Boots says the pain has been excruciating, and now he's warning others not to do what he did. Yeah,
really?
He said, proposing is just not worth it. And he also says practice caution around open flames. Now, if in case you're wondering, Boots did finally propose, but it was from his hospital bed. And she was forced to say yes, but in the back of her mind, she's like, I'm not marrying Deadpool, So, like, as soon as he heals and feels a little bit better, I have a feeling that she's going to be hitting the Outback, and I'm not talking about the steakhouse. So,
She's like, good luck, Harvey Dent.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, wouldn't it be great if it was only half though? You know, that would be fantastic. Love me for my good half. Put up with me for my bad half. But you know, starting a bonfire with gasoline and exploding yourself and then proposing to your would-be fiance from a hospital bed, unfortunately makes Adam Boots today's morning one.
And the most romantic.
I like watching the playback so I could see Todd's faces he's making at me while I attempt to share information on morning one. It's just a lot of don't like that joke. That joke sucked. That reference didn't make sense. Are you reading right now? Are you illiterate? I know for a fact that I'm dyslexic, by the way, because I catch myself all the time reading things aloud at home, not even on the radio, backwards, and then looking back at it and be like, oh shit, man, those words are reversed. So look at me, giant idiot, still being able to do stuff. Kinda.
Inspiration.
Yeah. You guys want to know what it do you ever wonder what it would look like if your dog stole your dentures?
Yeah, I've wondered that all the time.
Yeah, it keeps me up at night, frankly.
Yeah, well, this is going to keep you up at night because this is kind of freaky. But you're going to be able to see for yourself. All right. So check out this dog.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. It's just too funny. I mean, that's the kind. There's no context to it. The dog just stole grandma's dentures and accidentally put them in and was like, "I'm looking good. I'm just gonna keep this fit for a while." And whoever recorded this, how they didn't hyperventilate from laughter is amazing. I don't understand how they couldn't.
Oh, wow.
Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did she swallow all the dentures?
Oh. Those are just
Oh,
gone.
man.
Yeah. Let's watch it disappear. Now you see them. Oh, gone.
Those are inside the mouth for sure.
Now, if it popped them back out like grandma does, that would be.
That is fantastic. All right, so that's the story. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, then this one was a truck driving in reverse at full speed. Have you ever seen a truck do that? Well, you're about to. There's cursing in this as well, but check this out, dude. You would think that this guy.
Oh, it was just an accident.
No way.
This mother. But I thought he was coming towards you, man. I thought he was going to come towards this motherfucker. What? How far he gonna go?
Back.
I knew that.
This dude's driving backwards on the freeway.
Oh, it was just an accident.
No way.
This mother.
Isn't that crazy?
It
I
feels
thought he
like a
was coming
mistake
towards you, man.
that
I thought he was
tried to
coming-
follow up with a bigger mistake to fix it.
Yeah, and so he's going at least 45 miles an hour.
Probably
Backwards.
top it off as reverse gear.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't know they went that fast.
Yeah. Well, because no one's dumb enough or brave enough to try. That's crazy though. So we got 23 seconds. But that's a viral video in Cleveland, and of course with the commentary that made it even better. But this is dude, and there's no other context to the story besides that. That's just heading eastbound on I-90.
He's racing to get that meat pole.
Well, it's Cleveland. He's got a long ways to go. All right, let's get on the air here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Today is another one of those national holidays that don't necessarily make sense or no one really cares about, but it's National Mascot Day. Considering I'm close friends with the mascot, and I choose to celebrate it. And shout out to my boy Dusty, who's out there doing Roadrunner things right now. But who would you consider your favorite mascot of all time? I'll start off with Valdez. Which one is your favorite mascot?
Oh, Wilbur the Wildcat, hands down.
Okay, yeah. So you grew up in Tucson, so you're gonna be Wilbur all day. Not Wilma, huh? You're sexist against mascots.
Oh, I didn't know we could choose more than one. So yeah, Wilbur.
Well,
and
no,
Wilma.
you chose the dude over the female, right? And so you chose Wilbur over Wilma. Yeah, it's a decision you have to live with for the rest of your life, just so you know.
He existed first.
Okay, that's fair. You know, both of them sometimes are played by the same person. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
I see. I blew his
Broke
mind.
his brain.
All right, Derek. Who's your favorite mascot?
I like Baxter for the D-backs.
Yeah, well, what do you like about Baxter, the D-backs?
He's energetic and friendly, man. The Baxter hugs are the best.
Oh, you've hugged
You get
Baxter?
hugs?
Yeah, you hug Baxter, man.
You're that
Hug
guy,
Baxter?
Okay, I guess I'm weird. I don't know.
huh? Well, I mean, you love him that much. What about you, Todd?
That Milwaukee, the buck from Milwaukee Bucks that does the wild dunks.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, do you know how much money these mascots make on average? Like a pro mascot, that's a 6-figure deal. The mascot of the Denver Nuggets made news over the past couple of years because it makes over $1 million a year. It actually gets paid more than the majority of WNBA players, like like almost teams combined, with the amount of money that they're raking in as far as being a professional mascot. Of course, we know about the was it the Philadelphia mascot?
Oh, the Philly.
No, not the Philly. The Philly was the original one. I'm talking about the hockey one. It wants to start Gritty. Yeah, Gritty. That mascot makes $250,000 a year.
What?
Yes, for being gritty. Now, to be a mascot, you have to have a slew of different talents, not only to be physically fit because it is exhausting inside those costumes, but a mascot like Gritty is almost like a magician and a carny in a way that all the things that Gritty does is like mind-blowing things if you were just a person outside of a mask, like a costume. And then just imagine the things that they're able to do while fully encapsulated in like an oversized costume. It is pretty impressive. My favorite of all time is the gorilla from Phoenix Suns. I thought the Phoenix Suns gorilla, in my mind, was one of the first mascots to do the active dunking, like the Milwaukee Bucks mascot. But it became like a trend that NBA teams would then include in their halftime activities and their timeout things, was to have their mascot do like trampoline dunks, which is awesome. Do you know how that the Phoenix Suns gorilla got started?
No idea.
No clue.
It started, and it's somewhat racist, to be honest with you. It started as a guy going to Phoenix Suns games dressed as a gorilla, just straight up. And obviously, Phoenix Suns have no affiliation with gorillas whatsoever. They're a sun. So
wait. So you're telling me that our Phoenix Suns took the cheapest possible option they could and grabbed a guy off the street in a gorilla costume and made him the mascot?
No, I'll tell you that this guy was like a season ticket holder for quite some time before the Phoenix Suns finally embraced the gorilla as the mascot. And it wasn't initially the guy who was showing up at the games, because he was wildly racist, I'm assuming, because, you know, it was a predominantly black league and you showing up dressed you can't do that today, basically what I'm saying. Like if you tried showing up to a basketball game wearing any kind of like monkey related outfit, the security would not let you through the door. But
kind of an odd choice.
Yeah, 70s are like, yeah, absolutely. You seem like you'll blend in. And then the team just eventually embraced the gorilla as their mascot, and then it turned into an actual trade. And the Phoenix Suns gorilla is now generational, and they're on their like 6th or 7th gorilla, I think, and they make bank, super bank. To where like that's a full-time career until you just can't do it anymore. So they got colleges for it and everything. So yeah,
I like to do honorable mention and say Tuffy the Toro is also one of my favorite mascots.
Oh, why don't you just throw out more local stuff to let people know you grew up in Tucson here? Like what the Eegee's logo? What is the Eegee's mascot?
It's an Eegee.
I want to dress you up like an Eegee and walk you down Speedway.
I would do that.
That's the most local sentence I've said all day. All right, we're going to wrap things up with the beef tip right after these words. Got some more viral videos to share with you on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. All right, so.
Oh, man.
So what are you saying? Everyone stop? Okay.
No, nobody. No, you're making stuff up now.
I'll make stuff up that whole segment. You know, I mean,
that's also true.
in fact, let's see, average. I'm gonna Google average NBA mascot salary. Let's get some facts behind here. According to Google, they say the average, according to Grueling Truth, the mascots of major leagues in North America are earning an average salary of $65,000 a year. But that's the average. That's the low end. So, say how much does the Bulls mascot get paid? Benny the Bull reportedly has a salary of $400,000 a year.
Holy hell!
Who is the highest paid NBA mascot? Well, that would be Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot, which again, I grossly exaggerated what his salary was, but $625,000 a year annually. Yes, which is more than any WNBA player, which is always a fun little side note. Let's see. The Lucky the Leprechaun, the Boston Celtics mascot, $85,000 to $95,000 a year.
Huh.
The Lakers mascot, which no one knows or cares. And does the Lakers even have mascot?
I didn't know they did.
Yeah.
Do they?
Okay, how much do the Suns gorilla make? There we go. The Phoenix Suns the gorilla, it makes $200,000 a year annually. And this is double the salary of Hugo the Hornet. So, yeah, $200,000 to be the Phoenix Suns gorilla.
That's not bad. I mean, that's hard work though. I mean,
it's a year-round gig for sure, but
a slam dunk on demand.
No, but there's going to be a lot of like appearances and things throughout the year. They book. They do have some office work that coincides with that, but for the most part, it's just them showing up at games and home games at that. Yeah.
I think the way that you talked about the way the inside of that mascot suit smells would be the reason I wouldn't want to for any price.
I mean, if it's your suit, that's your stink. So at least you'll be largely swimming in your own stuff.
Well, and you're in the major leagues. I assume they do the laundry for that thing just like they do the uniforms for the players.
No, but you're so wrong. You're so wrong. It's basically their responsibility, and they don't care because that's inside the costume. It's very difficult to clean those. I mean, you could try to constantly dry clean it, and that's the only real way to go. But that doesn't necessarily take all the funk out. So
be all up in there with a Febreze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad. It is really bad. And I've smelled it. My buddy Noah, who was initially Dusty, he's also a young college guy who tried to would go out and try to get laid. After games, it was impossible for him. He said he would have to go home and scrub his knees for an hour to get the funk off of his knees. It was everywhere. It would be embedded in him, which is the smell of 1,000 jock straps is the best way to describe it. Yeah. It's like, what's that? And then imagine you're in that costume smelling 1,000 jock straps for 4 hours at a time.
And would you smell minor league ones get paid?
Would you smell 1,000 jock straps for $200,000 a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without hesitation. Right. Is that my job? Yeah. To 1,000. So you're talking maybe 2 a day? No,
you're making your jock strap factory. You got to make your own jock straps in this case.
$200,000 a year? Yeah. Do I have time off at PTO?
8 hours a day.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know what these mascots would do for 8 hours a day. I mean, I'm sure people come up with things, but they got to have a reasonably easy schedule where they're expected to just keep up with training to do wildly physical things.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and it would. So, how about here's a quick question: would you eat this cake for $5?
A jockstrap cake? No.
This cake.
Oh, what's it made out of? That's not penis.
It's banana nut.
Yeah, sure. Try it.
All right.
Give me $5.
It's super moist on the inside. All right. Yeah, let's wrap things up. Thank you. We'll be here all day. Actually, no, we're out of here in a minute and a half. Thank you guys for checking it out. Yes, cake is gross. I'm sorry about that. All right, here we go.
Presents. Yeah, they're cool. Rock 102.1.
Time flies when you're having fun. That's the saying. And we've definitely had a lot of fun today, and the time has flown by. But we'll continue our shows all week long. We got a lot of people stopping by, but I'd like to thank Derek and Todd Marlie joining me remotely. Todd, I hope you're back. Feels a little better. I know you threw it out by attempting to carry this show, and I appreciate that. Valdez,
It's so much pain.
Well, I see you tomorrow, dude.
Of course. I'm
All right.
Valdez.
Yes, Valdez will be in with Rico and Mari as well for the rest of the week. It's going to be a good time. All right, here's our beef tip before we wrap things up. They ask, does checking your bag at the airport early help you make it one of the first? Actually, I think I already covered this one. So we ran out of time. Robin Nash is up next. You're listening at 150 for your opportunity to qualify for the Summer of Fun. That's your beef tip. So you can win a trip to Liverpool, because I know that you guys all been telling yourselves, like, I just want to go to Liverpool someday. Well, we're hoping to hook you up. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/beefvegan. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish
Today's book, How Not to Stick the Landing. Huh?
I don't think we learned anything today either. I think today was a wash. We didn't come out dumber though, so maybe that's a win in our book.
I might have.
Babuski question mark?